Well, there is a song that's been with me for a couple of days now. I played it a few times for the community, and it's here again to play for you. It's Erik Archbold's song, The Silent Song. It's about that it's hard to hear when we only listen with our ears, and it's hard to see when we only try to see with our eyes. It's a beautiful song, so I feel to share it with you. We'll listen to the lyrics of this one.
Can you hear the song playing silently everywhere? It's hard to hear if you're listening only with your ears. Can you see the light shining endlessly through your mind? It's hard to find if you're looking only with your eyes. Can you smile the smile that lightens up the world for a while? But don't try, it will come naturally when you're inspired by the love inside. Can you see that we're imprisoned only by our beliefs, and we are free anytime that we choose to be? If you take my hand, we'll rise together from this foreign land and see that we never need to think nor plan. We must only decide, and we'll be happy once we've made up our mind. Walking faster only slows you down. Just be patient, keep your feet on the ground. Can you feel the love? It's all around to help you rise above all the pain and fear you've been dreaming of. It's alright to just let go and simply fall in love. So can you hear the song playing silently everywhere? It's right here, singing softly that there's nothing to fear.
Thank you, dear Erik. Such a good song. So we usually start these sessions with going within, inviting the Holy Spirit to join us, and inviting anything that you feel right now that's up for you. Just become really allowing and try to remove defenses and plans. And this Zoom room is a very safe place to allow exactly how you feel. There seems to be bodies coming together, but it's really Christ. It's really the presence of Christ offering us the time to really be and really allow whatever is calling for healing. And even tonight, if I ask Spirit, what is there a theme or a topic? And I just hear or feel this love. This, I love you. So into this space, we can invite anything that is calling for healing. And the Holy Spirit is the healer. They are like some tools that he uses. So if at any time during the session you feel like you want to share, you want to bring something up, just let us know. Just raise your hand. There is nothing that is wrong. There is nothing that should be avoided. Everything is allowed.
Yeah, I would like to speak up because it's often or every time I share my feeling then is changing, and I feel connected, more connected. And so because I feel a resistance to share, and resistance even to be here. So, and I don't know really why, but it comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a tension in my head right now. It's a tension I know very well. I feel it sometimes, even if I do the lesson or I am quite conscious doing my lessons, it comes up, the tension. I don't know from where it comes, from deeper. Yeah, and it's maybe what comes to my mind is resistance. So yeah, here.
Yeah. Do you want to try to? I know we are on a screen, but to eye gaze, maybe, or to just join, lock in eyes with us.
Yeah. Yes, sure. Yeah, I like it. Okay.
We're together here, and yeah, we can name resistance, but we can just say the joining is real. You're not alone.
Not what?
You're not alone.
No, yeah. I want to feel it. I love to feel it, to be joined with you and to be one-minded, or one in one feeling, more in a feeling with you. And I love it, and therefore I spoke up. I thought, no, I don't want this. I don't want it how it feel or how it felt now, and I feel it's getting better. To speak up and to share how it is. And I have my thoughts. No, I don't want to donate for this session in advance, even. Wow, I thought I can't say that, but it's a thought in my mind, and I don't know. It's resistance.
Yeah, thank you for naming that resistance.
Yeah, that's one thought of resistance, a form of resistance. But I don't know why it's so important.
Can I offer you something?
Pardon?
Can I offer you something around that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to take your hand in this and see this. Let's just see the resistance. And let's just say, don't donate for this session unless the inspiration comes.
Yeah.
Because there is such freedom here. There is no pressure, Dirk. You don't have to donate because you're here. You're so welcome. It's your heart we want, not your money.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's lay aside that idea, and then when or if the inspiration comes, you can send a donation. If it doesn't come, so be it. Trust whatever.
And thank you very much for this reassurance. Assurance. It's. I know somehow I thought about it as well. It's my inspiration. Later on, or these days, it will come. But the thought was there. In spite of my experience I had with donations and so on. So I know how it feels if it's inspired, or it's with joy and not to question. But this resistance thought, no, it's not worthwhile.
Thanks for questioning it by showing up.
Yeah, and that's
very good.
And then I thought, I am not worthwhile. That's where I was connected. I'm not worthwhile. I am not worthwhile.
Yeah, that's probably what's underneath.
Yeah, maybe this person, this ego. This person was seeing myself as separated and as a person who wants to be not here. Or just hearing and not speaking, to consume and not go into it, or to participate completely, fully, with my heart.
For naming those.
Yeah. I think that's the resistance. Yeah. Good to say it. Yeah. I don't lie. I think it's important to be for me to be be more if I'm here, that I'm fully here and have the full experience with you. Yeah.
Thank you, Dirk. Do we have any others sharing that would like to come up?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi there.
So nice to meet you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Beautiful.
Oh, my heart is so full. It's just amazing. And drop into a group of people who I don't know and feel like my brothers and sisters are right here. It's so beautiful. Thank you. I feel honored to have been with you today. And I had something right after this group and I'm like, oh no, I have to leave. And then I just looked at my phone and the woman canceled and I'm like, oh, thank you. It just shows up. Turn it over. I'm so glad that I don't have to leave. So there's so many things I heard that I completely identified with. Grace and her contrast learning is what I call it. It's like the times where I've been there so many times where I just feel so broken and helpless that I can't do this. And the flip side of that is the surrender, I think, or has been for me. And yet the fear that comes up for me when I'm in that is so strong. It's like everything is saying, you know, ditch it now before it's too late. And so I appreciated affirming that and witnessing that we can be there for one another when we get afraid. I think it was this group or another where someone was talking about doubt. Doubt came up for me earlier this week. It was as if I just felt this block, like I can't, like I don't know if I can really, do I really believe what the Course is telling me? Like I questioned everything. And when I look back at that now, I share that with a miracle buddy and just kind of cried and complained. And on the other side of it was, yes, I do believe this. Yes. Yes. From the moment I read the Course or heard the Course, it resonated with something very, very deep and very true in me. And it was the first time for me that I'd experienced anything in this physical world that that made sense. And so my answer was, yes, I do believe this. I do, with all my heart. And I devote my life to this. And I get afraid sometimes. I get afraid as the personality that I am starts to fall away. I get afraid sometimes. But then I come to you guys or to some of my mighty companions and I'm reminded of who I really am. And what a homecoming that is. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just so grateful to be here. I have a son who moved to Spain and I miss him a lot. And I know he's just another brother, but he's one of my favorites. I know we're not supposed to have those. But
even Jesus said all my brothers are special.
Yeah, this is one of my special brothers. So every time I've been in Spain, I've longed for some connection to the Course. So when I heard you were there, I don't know what part of me that comforted, but every part, to know that you were there and he was there. And that when I'm there, you'll be there. I don't know why. I know spatially none of this means anything, but it means so much to me to know you're there. So God bless you. Thank you for allowing me into this sacred space today. And for being such a beautiful family. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Rebecca.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Look forward to seeing you when you come.
I'll be there.
Precious.
Yeah, we're all one family.
And we do need the connection. I mean, this is what we need to allow ourselves to connect. Also what Dirk was sharing, the resistance to it, you know, and how we can feel so separate. And we find out we are sharing one mind when we allow this connection. So it feels really good. It's like we don't know until we allow it.
Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to say. And that was, thank you so much for describing that feeling after you share of like, I have that so profoundly that there are groups that I just stop sharing in because the backlash from my, or from the ego thought system or whatever came, you know, I don't let it, I really try not to let it stop me, but thank you for putting that to word. I don't think I've ever heard anybody just say that out loud. Like, this is what happens to me when I put myself out there. You know, I get this voice that says, what did you just say? And what are people, blah, 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 blah. So hearing you say that made me want to affirm that I experienced that and that it's not true. It's just not true. The opposite is true. You share and my heart opens and like you said, I know we're one. The opposite is true. Yeah, thank you.
It's beautiful. Gloria has experienced that a few times, I think. You see Lori underneath Rebecca's picture.
Yeah, can I share? Yeah, I feel like the love's returned. I know it's never lost, but that's how it feels. Yeah, just I've had such a day. I don't even know how. Yeah, just which I'll probably talk with you more about tomorrow. But my prayer was, I just want to feel connected to my brothers and sisters, to my mighty companions. And I was thinking, oh, it's on Zoom. It's not going to be the same as. And my prayer was answered in this powerful meeting. Yeah, and probably a similar experience like last night when I shared round at the house, and it was you, like the movie we watched, and a character in the movie was feeling a lot of shame around sex, and you just mentioned it, like, oh, he's got a lot of guilt. So in my expression, I just simply said, like, I could feel this wave of guilt come. And then in the night, last night, I must have been half asleep and half awake, and I remembered what I said, and my whole face went bright red, and I woke up with, like, what did I say that for? Why? Just this embarrassment, and yeah, it was awful. Yeah, so just to put that on the altar, because I really want to start to get more comfortable in, you know, anything's allowed. And I think the same sort of doubt with when Grace was talking, like there's something I really wanted to share from my heart, and then just all this doubt comes, like, oh, who are you to say that? Don't share that. That's, you're going to be relating to someone else's share, and that's not, you know, all the judgment around Yeah, but it's so strong. Every time Grace pops into my mind, and she does it often, the words come, "When are you coming home?"
Mm.
And it was so strong one time, I just had to send her a message and put it in a message, "When are you coming home, Grace?"
Mm.
But then I doubt myself. Yeah.
Feel like the wave of love from you to her in that message.
Yeah. This is how the spirit works, you know. We're not here to doubt it, just to be the channel for it. Let it come out. Yeah.
And when I did send her that message, when I plucked up the courage to send her it, this was months and months ago, we just had a lovely little interaction, and it was, yeah. But then I worry that, oh, it's attachment, you know, like I really miss her.
Mm.
It's beautiful. Give her a call or connect with her sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Stuff I want to share about, things that have happened today, but I think I'll join with you tomorrow. But I just feel so grateful for the meeting. When it happens like this, when people, just the shares is so opening. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just feel to say it's okay to be a sexual person.
Well, I'll mute that comment.
I think I might have turned up the red on the screen here, I see.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, no cause for shame or guilt or anything.
Yeah. Thank you, Lori. I'll see you tomorrow. You coming in the morning tomorrow? Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Hannah, you can unmute yourself.
I just think, thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. Lori, my call with you, Jenny Barret, was about sexual abuse. So I just thought that I would share that, and that everybody's shares have been confirmation and encouragement for me and for everybody, that we're in the right place at the right time. We're all lifting up together, and I'm so happy to be here and feel really encouraged. So thank you to everybody, and thank you for bringing that up and having the courage to say that, because it's very poignant for me right now. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that's sweet. Very sweet.
Yeah, we're all in this together. All in this together. It's the song we need to play too. But yeah, it's usually very, very related topics, you know. The Holy Spirit orchestrates the groups, and the themes are very, poignant. It's very appropriate for the ones who come in. And that's how the Holy Spirit arranges the retreats too. There's always this, you know, perfect match of people coming together. And we never know what themes are going to come up in the retreats, but it's always like this, perfect match. That's cool to witness.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, it's like a demonstration of how loved we are by Spirit.
Yeah. Some animal visiting us on the balcony. It's a funny sound. Megan,
Yeah.
nice to see you again.
I'm so happy to be here with you. And yeah, I don't know how it will happen, if it will happen to join you for the Easter retreat, but yeah, and it was incredible what you told me about March, when I had wanted to come, that it wasn't, because it wouldn't have worked. So yeah, it was really well orchestrated. The Holy Spirit had a different plan for me where I should be at that time.
Oh, cool.
So I just wanted to put it, and I feel so much peace and so happy to be with you now. But I just wanted to put it on the altar, something that seems to have been coming up today for some reason. You know, I listened to a podcast, and what's coming up here is, I asked myself, like, have I ever been sexually abused at some point in my life that I've just blocked it out and have some kind of dissociation? Because I really struggle in intimate relationships to be in healthy and safe intimate relationships where my needs are met, and I'm, and I was just wondering what's there. And I just wanted to share with the group, because this is such a safe space, that I thought about it and I had no conscious memory, nothing. And I just kind of asked my intuition, my spirit team, whatever. And I was like, oh, is it something to do? Oh, too bad that I have that recording on, but is it something to do with like a family member? And a specific family member popped in, and yeah, so I don't know what's there or not there, if it's a real memory or not a real memory, but I just wanted to put that on the altar, since it just seems like the spirit is trying to get me to, I don't know, something either in this life or a past life. I just wanted to share it with you, and I'm grateful for this space.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you all.
Yeah, and it feels so helpful to focus on the feeling, on the, feeling. How do you feel? Sometimes we can get very caught in, oh, did that happen or not? But actually, the feeling in you is, that's where you will heal, just to allow. And maybe memories will be revealed, but we don't need to focus on that. Just allow yourself to feel this, whatever feeling you have around sexuality, intimacy, relationships. Really be with it. Allow Holy Spirit to be with you as you allow the feelings.
Yeah, what had come up for me earlier was this anger around, like, even when I now, after like a year of working on this specifically, been able to set a boundary and ask for my needs to be met, and then, leave someone who didn't honor them. Just this anger, anger at God for sure. Like, why constantly be in these situations where I feel like I'm not honored, but at the same time, I can also look at myself and say, but that's kind of a guilt feeling. I don't think that's real, but I did have this really big, like, in my kind of diaphragm area, like, just anger about, like, why does it have to be so hard? Why do I have to try so much around this topic specifically? Yeah. And like, why don't they just do what I ask them to do when it's fairly simple and was already agreed on? Yeah. So that's also present for me.
Yeah, just again, I want to say thank you too for sharing this. And I just keep hearing the phrase, "We believe you."
Yeah.
Even if you're not totally knowing what it is that it was, you're believed, you are trusted.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like a physical release around like my ears, like when you said that. Like I had a tension headache earlier today. Um, yeah, yeah, and that does make sense for me. So thank you.
Yeah. I actually feel, I also say, we will always believe you.
Yeah, because I really feel a lot of doubt around just trusting myself and my own emotions, my own experience of things, especially in family and intimate relationships. I just always feel like I did something wrong all the time.
Yeah, but you're working on that. It's starting
Yeah.
to change.
Hmm. Yeah, it's moving. This like codependence, which before I wouldn't have put a word on it, but just this feeling that I have to be responsible for everything. And if I'm not perfect, then I deserve nothing. And yeah, just a lot of pressure to always know how to be and do things the right way the first time. And yeah,
Mm.
and this escape to fantasy, um, like, choosing these relationships where there's so much fantasy and it never, not really bursting the bubble too much. Um, yeah, I don't know, getting incoherent.
Yeah, the cool thing. These are the words I hear. Maybe there is no right way.
Yeah. Well, that makes me want to weep because I'm trying so hard. It's like a very heavy burden.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful to allow being in the I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There is no right way, It's the inner way.
Yeah. Just feeling that if I'm right, I'll be protected and I'm defending myself. It's a form of defense.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and these are words, these are feelings, can be there when you have been abused in some way. I mean, this, if I do it right, I'm gonna be protected. I must have done it wrong because I was abused, that conclusion
Yeah.
might have been made, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Like something really like wordless, something without any images or just like a flicker in the back of my mind. And like, yeah, I had this dream, but it was really more about an ex-boyfriend, or so I thought, where I was looking like, I have these shelves here, and like there was like this black file in the back of the shelf, and I was kind of like asking myself, like, do I actually need to open this file, or can I just call it a complicated case and kind of let it go? Which is something that I had been talking to about it with a therapist, that it was just, there's no unwinding something that was so twisted in my, you know, in my actual memory. And so, yeah, I had this dream that I saw this black file in the back of the case, and it didn't have like a sinister feeling or anything, just that, like, do I really need to open it in order to just let it go? So, yeah, thank you. Because I usually just pin everything on my mother. But recently something came up around like my dad, and like all these like anger and guilt thoughts. So yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked, like, given my upbringing, if something had happened and I was told to cover it up, or not believed, because like what I realized, I've been in these relationships where, like, I create like this huge fantasy of how it could be if only this, this, and this, and I'm not living in. I'm so invested in this fantasy that has all these conditions that it's so unlikely to actually exist, and I realize how my family also does that to some degree. That, like, everything is perfect, and we just kind of push some things under the rug. So yeah, that was a pattern that I noticed recently also.
I'm glad you have been drawn to join with us, and because we like turning all the stones and looking underneath.
Yeah, it's really and I also, like, since the last retreat that we were on, I had talked about how I have this, like, how at the time I had this real distrust of the unseen forces, and anything that's not like historical, or kind of has that mass agreement behind it in some way. And I've spent like it may be adventures of the ego, but I've spent a pretty fun year experiencing these different parts of myself and of the world that I was really not wanting to engage with, or in denial of, in the past. So now when I think about, like, could somebody really hear a voice and dictate thousands of pages upon thousands of pages, or all of this, it doesn't seem crazy, and it seems really coherent that, like, spirit is always trying to speak to us, whether it's an animal or a podcast. Or so, yeah, I do have this greater feeling of trust.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There is this expansion that is happening.
Yeah, and with that has also come, like, a sense of discernment around, like, there are so many ways of seeing truth, but when it doesn't feel expansive, then that's when the alarm bell needs to go off, not because of something to do with how things are in form. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel very complete. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
Maybe we see you in 2 weeks. Quite
As they say, inshallah.
What? Inshallah.
If God's willing, inshallah.
Beautiful. Yeah. God willing. Peter is our last share, I think.
Hi. Feel still quite fearful, disturbed, missing the group. You send a message, and I was separate in my bedroom, a bit unconscious, and suddenly completely forgotten about the group. And when I got your message, I felt incredibly guilty. I'd done something wrong, and then a lot of shame. Been very intense. And it does feel connected with other shares too. So Grace's share about feeling unsafe feels very resonant. And I felt it earlier a bit in the day. We went for a walk and the neighbor was there, and it felt a bit out of control. Everything felt a bit manic, and I felt out of control here when the cat came up. Felt quite irritated with it. Just kind of moving around, and
yeah, so it feels like there is a belief in threat.
a belief in
Threat, that there is a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the theme here has been touching on sexual abuse, you know, and that has been your trauma. And I think and you have had just something new coming in, seemingly Aaron coming in. And I think sometimes when there's changes or anything new, different, it can be like a trigger for the sexual abuse, for the trauma, like this alarm, I'm not safe, you know, even if it's nothing at all that has to do with that, but it's like a trigger for the same feelings, because these feelings are so ingrained, or so you're so used to them. So that's the ones that come up, you know. So just to know that whenever it comes up, to say, oh, this must be just my trauma, you know, and then be very gentle. So if it was when you saw the neighbor, or and say, how can I feel safe now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's almost a hysteria inside. I changed, I couldn't focus in these glasses. I put another pair of glasses, they were even worse. I just couldn't focus.
Do you want to try another pair of glasses?
Have another
Yeah, and it feels helpful to kind of talk to yourself inwardly, and even talk to that feeling of distress and fear, and say, hello, hi, it's you again, hi.
Yeah.
Welcome, I'm going to be with you here for a bit, you know, to actually allow it fully. You're not alone.
Just feel that you are safe. I feel it for you, Peter, but I feel it for everyone who shared on this topic or anything else.
And you know it's a memory when you feel this in your body, you know, feel this tension and this. There's nothing right now that is threatening, but still there is this feeling of threat or feeling of tension. Then it is helpful to know, oh, this must be a memory, and be very loving and say, I'm safe now, and just acknowledge it. Yeah, so it feels very helpful that you talked about it. Lulu?
Yeah, it's Lulu, yeah.
Did she get some meat and fish?
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Where is it? She can have some of the fish. I forgot that.
Oh, sorry.
There's something that just comes to me. It feels like there's a child in me trapped.
Yeah.
And can't really speak or express it. So I've just gripped it tight.
When you shared that, I just kind of saw you rolling around in a field of grass or something, like a child, but in the healing, to allow the feelings that are there, because if it's not with words, it could be with movements or just allowance of the feeling.
Yeah.
I've experienced that a bit around the abuse that I experienced as a child and processing it. Many times it's just not possible to put into words because I was too young to understand anything, and so it's kind of wordless, but then to still really allow the feelings. It's okay to.
Thank you. It was helpful, especially about that lying in the grass and hanging out somehow. Yeah, I felt some light and freedom in that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can be that boy. You can lay in the grass for a bit.
I think Lulu was just tacking my foot at that moment. So, part of the playfulness, yeah. It's just words like, is this ever going to end? Is this never going to end?
It is going to end.
The ending is certain. That's what we spoke about earlier too, Hannah. Yeah, it's this saying, what you resist persists, and it can seem that way.
Yeah.
You think it's too much, we may try to resist. But just this full allowance and gentleness, yeah, that is going to lead to the finish line.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear about the gentleness. There's just something here that's a bit out of view. It's just a bit out of view. And that maybe that's because of the resistance. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, when you just said a bit out of view, but it also sounds like a bit out of you. A bit out of you. It's just like the same. Just thought to share that.
Yeah, because I don't feel like it is very out of view for you. It is actually with you. And maybe right now, as we're sitting in the group, it may feel a little out of view, but the moment it's up for you, it is there. It's not really up for you. It's fully there to be acknowledged and allowed. And yeah. So, yeah, it can seem to be a lot of processing, but to be very free and allowing, be very free to find a field of grass and rolled around, just,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's perfect, Peter. You're right where you need to be.
Thank you. Well, it's good to hear because I'm not in a position to know, to be honest. So, yeah.
All the letters of Peter fits into perfect. Perfect, Peter.
Oh, what a big healing space we've been in tonight.
Yeah, you guys are very brave. Just keep looking at what's there. It's beautiful. And even after the session, you can all just keep allowing, reconnecting with Holy Spirit, allowing all the feelings, whatever is there.
Yeah, so you can just gently close your eyes. And very deeply allow whatever is here just gently placing whatever we find into the hands of Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit will take it all for us.
You can allow to deeper even get in touch with how you're doing. Maybe see how you're feeling in the body. If there's any tension. And just recognize, acknowledge what's there. Okay. Have a really good night and good rest of your day, wherever you are.
Yeah. So much love for all of you.